Hey guys, I'm hoping you're having a great day, but unfortunately today we're talking about something that's a little sad. And I am of course referring to the news that Bungie announced June 9th is going to be the last update to Destiny 2, and there's no plans for any future updates, right? They're shifting their focus to Marathon. Now, it goes without saying this is a huge disappointment to many fans, myself included. Destiny 1, I think, came out in 2014, so it's been over 10 years. I think in the newsletter they said 12 years of Destiny that they've been working on. That's actually longer than Bungie ever released Halo games, right? The first Halo game came out in 2001, and the last one that Bungie actually published was Halo Reach, and that was 2010. And I remember after they got done with Halo, I was keeping track of what Bungie was doing because I was such a huge fan of the franchise. Of course, I'm going to be a fan of the studio. And they were slowly releasing more and more information about what they were working on, which, of course, was Destiny. And I got super excited for it. And I was one of those players that was there on launch day when it originally came out. And of course, Destiny 2 had a very long lifespan. I think that game came out in 2017. We almost made it to the 10-year mark of that game. And look, I'm not going to lie to you guys. I fell off being a Destiny player years ago, but I still really love the game, the franchise, and always kind of had this thought in my mind that one day I would come back to this franchise and get back into it. However, if we're being honest, there's definitely reasons why I fell off being a player, as well as many others, and even the current fan base that still plays this game has some very legitimate concerns and kind of complaints about the series and where it's been for the past I don't know how long. But once again, with all the hope of maybe that getting fixed or maybe a Destiny 3 later on being released and solving a lot of these problems, well, unfortunately, it's more wishful thinking now than ever. They already announced that they're going to cut support for Destiny 2, but also there's been a leak that there's no real production for Destiny 3 at the moment. And I'm certainly not trying to say that there will never be a Destiny 3, but it's just not a good sign. And once again, even more bad news, there's been a leak talking about Bungie having massive layoffs coming ahead. Obviously, this makes sense since they're cutting support for Destiny 2. They're probably not needing as much staff, which is really unfortunate, and they're focusing all their efforts on Marathon. And I said this in my last video about Bungie. I'm not trying to hate on Marathon. I haven't played the game, but I was hoping to pick it up sometime and see what it's all about. However, I will say, Marathon being the alternative to Destiny is going to upset a lot of people. Reason for that is because there is a chance that there was a lot of Destiny fans that may have eventually picked up Marathon or supported that title, not wanting to do that anymore for a couple reasons. One of which is there a lot of faith in Bungie for supporting their titles in the future right now? No, not really. And of course, there's going to be some bad feelings about that game because it is the game that took away the original thing that they love, which was, of course, Destiny. I think more than ever right now, what I'm really sad about is just thinking about all the nostalgic memories we all have about Destiny and Destiny 2. It's really crazy that this franchise has been going on over a decade. Time really does fly by, as well as how much it meant to a lot of people. So, yeah, sad day in my mind for sure. And I'm not even someone who considers himself a current Destiny player. I can't imagine how rough that's got to be for them. Another thing I'll say is I'm really sad for the staff that's supposedly going to get laid off. I mean, of course, I don't want to see anybody lose their job. And it's really sad to see Bungie kind of getting downsized, and we don't really know what the future of Bungie is going to be. Now, with that being said, I'm not saying Bungie is going to close shop or anything like that. Keep in mind, Sony purchased them for I think $3.6 billion. And yes, the most recent video we talked about was them losing a valuation on that 3.6. However, if I'm a Sony exec and I'm in charge of making these decisions, my mind isn't going to be we're just going to shut it down and punish them for not meeting our standards. In actuality, the logical thing is to actually try and bring up that value again so you're not just losing this money on this investment. And based off everything we hear on the current news, it seems like the way they're trying to do that is to support Marathon and hope that that game does better. And in my opinion, I don't know what the next move for the Sony execs is. And the reason I say Sony execs is because I think right now it's really in their hands more than it is in the studio's hands. So I wouldn't be too surprised if they decided that they think the best way to generate more value is to greenlight a Destiny 3 and get that out the door. Is that a bit of wishful and hopeful thinking? Maybe. I'm just trying to say, if I'm a Sony exec and I'm thinking, what is the easiest way to get this studio back up to the value we want it to be? That seems like the case. I don't know. I could be wrong on that. So to kind of try and wrap this all up and recap everything, I'm really sad to see Destiny go. and I'm really sad to see Bungie in the state that it is in. But if I was trying to look for a silver lining, I think this is rock bottom. Now that is hopeful. I don't really know if this is, and God knows if it gets worse, that's going to be pretty bad. But if this is rock bottom for Bungie, then that means the only way up, or the only way forward, is up, of course. And it is my wishes and my hope, and I'm trying not to use the word hope too much here, but I kind of already did, that there is going to be a future for Destiny. I don't know what that will look like. Maybe it'll be a Destiny 3, maybe it'll be something else, but yeah, I really don't want to see Destiny just disappear off into the sunset. I want it to be a future for Destiny as a franchise, and of course for all the Destiny players who still want that. Anyways, guys, that is going to be it for this video. I probably rambled on longer than I should, but I want to say thank you guys, and I will see you all later.